Welcome to episode 62 of the 3am Fear podcast. Today's episode is a little different one. We are surrounded by urban legends passed down through generations. While we may never know which ones are true and which ones are not, the history and the story behind them is as interesting and scary as it can be. Today I'm going to talk about two such urban legends, one from Kashmir and one from Assam. But this episode is not going to be just about narrating what the urban legend is about. I'm also going to narrate a fiction story connected with it. As this is my first ever episode with a fiction story, stay till the end and I would love to know what do you think. Hello and welcome to the 3am Fear podcast. I'm Nikita Ferrao, mystery and thriller author. On this podcast, I talk about real crimes and real people. Due to the graphic nature of some of this content, listener discretion is advised. You can find the episode show notes on my website 3amfear.com. Let's get started. First story, Rantas. In a small village nestled among the snow-capped mountains of Kashmir, there lived a young man named Arjun. He had grown up hearing about the tales of Rantas, a mythical creature who roamed the snowy nights. Despite the warnings from his elders, Arjun was adventurous and curious. He wanted to know what was out there. One winter evening, as heavy snowflakes fell from the sky, Arjun's friends gathered around a crackling fire, sharing stories of Rantas. Intrigued by the tales, Arjun decided that at that night he wanted to go out and find out whether there actually was a creature called Rantas. With a jacket tightly wrapped around him, Arjun started walking into the snowy forest. The moonlight showed him the way. The forest whispered secrets as he made his way deeper into the heart. The snow was getting on his boots. As he stepped on the snow, he could hear this soft sound breaking the silence. Suddenly, a haunting melody filled the air, drawing Arjun deeper into the forest. As he followed the music, he stumbled across a clearing filled with moonlight. And there, standing in front of him, on the snowflakes, was a figure, unlike he had ever seen before. It was Rantas, the creature he was looking for. Her long hair was flowing like a river of darkness. Her eyes were bright. Despite his mind screaming at him to run away, Arjun couldn't move. He was captivated by her beauty. The Rantas approached him. Her voice was even more melodious. She spoke about how lonely she was and how she desperately wanted someone to be with her. So coming to reality, who is this creature? Now Kashmir is a beautiful place, but as beautiful as it is, there are a lot of undiscovered caves. And within these caves, it is said that there is a creature who may look very beautiful on the outside, but it definitely has evil intentions. This creature is called Rantas. She is a mysterious being with long hair, sharp teeth and nails, and feet that are pointed in the wrong direction. People over the years have been telling stories about her to scare children into staying homes on snowy nights. Rantas was said to wander in the dark nights, especially when the moon was hidden, searching for men to kidnap. Legend has it that she lost her lover and now wants to find a man perfect for her. And in order to do this, she would keep kidnapping young men and keeping them as prisoners. It is said that she takes these men, kidnaps them into a cave, and then brutally pulls out their heart and eats them. Sometimes she even turns into a beautiful lady who seduces men and then gets them to marry her. And anyone who has married her has disappeared within days of the wedding. One famous story that has been told over the years is of a man named Lovelone, who unfortunately met Rantis disguised as a beautiful woman. Now, where the story exactly came from is unclear. Nevertheless, the story is as scary as it can be. In the stories about the Rantis, people say that she lives in these thick forests or faraway places where there are not a lot of people around. But when it gets really cold and snowy, she sometimes comes closer to these villages. She likes to hide in the dark, empty places and shout out scary sounds. It's something like she wants to scare the villagers, but at the same time, she wants to get closer to them. In January of 2021, a local news channel aired a clip with the chilling sound of a woman's scream, rumored to be the cry of Rantis herself. Now, whether this myth is true or not, it's unclear. But if you are ever in Kashmir, you definitely should listen to the story from one of the localites. It is said that if you are confused whether a woman is Rantis or not, you should just look at her feet. If they are in the opposite direction, then run. Second story. Bak. Raju and Meena lived in the quiet village of Namdang, where the stories of Bak filled every shadow. They were warned, never go near the pond because that's where this monster would be. But that's what something that Raju was excited and interested in. One moonless night, ignoring all the warnings, Raju decided that he would go near the water just to see if he could spot this monster. As he got closer to the water, he was drawn by the whispers. Suddenly, the Bak emerged from underneath, its monstrous form towering over him. With a gut-wrenching scream, Raju was snatched away into the darkness. Days passed, but there was no sign of Raju. Meena couldn't shake this feeling that something was not right. And then, one evening, she saw Raju standing by the pond, his eyes empty, and his smile was twisted. At first, Meena was excited to see Raju. She hadn't seen him in a really long time. But even though this looked exactly like Raju, she couldn't help but feel that this wasn't Raju. And she was right, because this wasn't Raju. This was the Bak, wearing his skin. Fear gripped Meena's soul as she realized the danger that she was in. She ran as fast as she could, and the faster she ran, the louder she could hear the Bak's laughter. She knew that she was not safe, not until she reached home. The Bak was always hungry, and its hunger knew no bounds, and it would not stop until it caught Meena. So who is Bak? In the quiet villages of Assam, nestled among the lush greenery, there lurked a deep fear of the Bak, a creature of nightmares that lived within the depths of ponds and lakes. Now the word Bak itself is derived from the Assamese word Bakhur, which translates to an evil spirit or demon. The Bak was like no other creature, with a grotesque appearance that would send shivers down anyone's spine. It was said to kill its victims, hiding their bodies deep underwater where no one can find them. The Bak hunts carefully, choosing only to hunt in those areas where not a lot of people go. Many who dared to enter never returned. But what made the Bak truly terrifying was its ability to take on the appearance of its victims after killing them. It could be a loved one who was killed by the Bak, and the person standing in front of you could actually be the Bak, and you would never know. It is said that the bark can change its form at any time. It could appear as animals, humans, or even objects. All of this to deceive its prey and then attack them. It is also said that one of the best ways to avoid the bark is to carry a torn fishing net, because the bark is afraid of it. Now, I'm not completely sure from where this information came from, but that's what it said. I'm assuming it has been passed down over the years. In lots of stories about the bark, there are some things that always stay the same. People say that it can change its shape to trick others. Sometimes it looks like a pretty lady, an old person, or even a harmless animal. Something or someone that when you see, you feel like helping. And when you get close to the bark, it shows its real scary self. Its monstrous appearance with sharp claws, big teeth, and glowing red eyes. Although the bark loves to attack people, it likes to live far away from where people usually live. So that's why it is usually found in thick forests or hidden ponds. And it's especially found near places where you could find fish. Now, legends have whispered of a way to control the bark by stealing its soul pouch. This small pouch contains the essence of bark's being, that is the bark's power. And if you could somehow get hold of its pouch, you could control the bark. But getting hold of this pouch is not easy. You would have to fight with the bark itself in order to get hold of this pouch. Now, despite its chilling nature, the bark has a fondness for fish, and that's why some villagers, they kind of feel scared, but at the same time a sense of relief that the bark would favor the fish over anyone else. The Assamese society are very close to bark's legend, and there people are warned, don't go into any deep forests or near any ponds alone, and especially at night. Be wary and be careful. In the shadow of this sinister legend, the people of Assam always live in fear, and they would never go near dark waters because they know what could be on the other side. Now, whether the bark actually exists or not is unknown, but this legend is enough to keep people away. If you have made it to the end, thank you so much for listening. I hope you loved it, and I would definitely like to know whether you want to listen to more such fiction stories connected to urban legends. I'll put in a quick poll on Spotify. Please let me know if you would like to listen to more fiction stories and urban legends. A big thank you to all my fellow listeners who have been listening and supporting this episode. Your reviews, your listens mean a lot. If you love this episode, if you love the stories that I put out, then please do leave a rating on whichever podcasting platform you're listening from. It would really mean the world to me. Other than this, I also have a YouTube and an Instagram page. I'll link it in the description. Do check it out. I have different stories on Instagram, and I'm planning to put out some short horror stories on YouTube. So do subscribe to my YouTube channel and stay tuned. I am also an author, love fiction stories. If you want to check out my free fiction book, I'll link it in the description. I'll also link my other account in the description where I talk about fiction writing, travel, and I also will soon start sharing fiction stories. So stay tuned. So do follow me there. Thank you so much for everything. That's all for this week. Stay kind, stay safe, and see you next week.